Growing up as a little kid, me and my cousins and my brother always just being around doing stupid shit, and I realised engineering is basically doing stupid shit.
But me doing economics even, I don't know what I want to do in the future, but I can go into banking, I can go into finance, I can go into investment, I can go into a lot of things, which is the only reason why I'm doing it, because I don't know what I want to do either. Everyone would come to my parents and they would be like, oh, your last one, she's the smartest one, she's the one that's going to do really well, she's going to be this, she's going to be that. So their expectations were very, very high, but I didn't meet them.
The people and us. I studied computer game designs because I like playing games, so I must like make them, right? Wrong. Absolute shocking choice. I made a terrible decision, and after 2 years of taking the student loans and attending minimal classes, I dropped out mid-semester. Ended up working at KFC for 2 years and managed to get little bits of office experience. Receptionist, admin, typist, and so on. I then struggled for a year or so, had crappy jobs in Aldi and a call centre. I have since been doing a TFL course with the aim of moving to Asia and teaching children English. I'd love to go China, Indonesia, or Vietnam, Cambodia. Japan and South Korea are pretty much out of the question due to my lack of degree, sadly. Right, welcome back to Life Out Loud Season 2. Today we have got 3 special guests on our show. Yes, special, yes. So let's introduce yourselves. Obviously you lot are all studying at university currently, and we want to know a little bit about what you're studying. So Kapil, what are you doing currently?
I'm studying mechanical engineering.
Okay.
Been there for 2 years.
What university?
South Bank.
Oh, do you like it?
Yeah, so far so good.
Introduce yourself. I was going to say your name, but you can go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, my name's Simbi. I'm at Central St. Martin studying product design.
Do you know who you sound like there? Do you know, have you ever watched Blind Date?
No.
No, I'm showing my age right now, but if you guys ever watch Blind Date, that's how the contestants introduce themselves. What were you studying?
I'm studying product design.
Product design, nice. How's it going?
I really like it.
You
I really
it?
enjoy it, yes.
And Sushi, you just started, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
Sorry, I called you Sushi. I'm so sorry. I'm so used to calling you Sushi. So Susha, you just started, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
How are you finding it?
It's alright.
And what are you studying?
Economics.
Economics?
Yeah.
Okay. And is that being influenced by your parents at all, or was that just something that you wanted to do?
More myself. They tried to,
Okay.
but I said no. So it's my choice. I'm doing what I wanted to do.
Okay, and you just finished your A-levels as well. What was the pressure like for your A-levels?
Oh my god, I don't even want to talk about it. It's that bad. I don't want to talk about it.
So A-levels, what did you do? Was it similar to what you're doing
So
right
I
now?
did maths, economics, and psychology.
Wow. That's a lot of hard subjects right there.
Mm-hmm.
And you chose all 3 subjects there as well?
Yeah, I wanted to, yeah.
So what did you do in college?
A-levels.
A-levels.
I did maths and I did double engineering because my school allowed me to do it.
Okay. And engineering, was that influenced by your parents at all? Was it just something you wanted to do?
Not really. Growing up as a little kid, me and my cousins and my brother always just being around doing stupid shit, and I realised engineering is basically doing stupid shit until you get the solution. And that's what it is. It's a game, and I liked it, so I carried on doing it.
And Simbi, what about you? What got you into product design?
Well, at A-levels, I did textiles design, physics, and I did philosophy and ethics.
Wow.
As well. During my first year of A-levels, I also did Mandarin, but then I was advised to drop it and focus more on getting the more academic subjects, because I was already doing other languages as well.
So you study at 2 universities, right?
At the moment, yes.
And is that both for the same subject?
No, so I'm at UAL doing product design, that's my degree, and I'm at UCL doing advanced Chinese.
Advanced Chinese?
Yes.
Jeez. Do you want to say hello to the people and us and all my Life Out Loud fans in Chinese, please?
Well, hello is to everyone.
Just everyone. Let's just go out there and say hello to everyone.
大家好。
Wow.
你们怎么样？我是 Simbi。
Simbi?
我21岁了，但是下个星期三是我的生日。
Now, I'm going to get that Google translation.
All right.
Just to make sure that's 100% correct.
Well, I said a few things. I said, hi everyone, my name's Simbi. I said, I'm 21 years old. and it's my birthday next week, Wednesday.
No!
geez.
Happy birthday!
Thank you.
We didn't get you any cake or anything, but
In Chinese, you can say 生日快乐.
I'm not gonna even.
Okay.
I would, but I'm not even. All right, so guys, how important do you think it is to get the right subject the first time round?
It's imperative.
Oh, I
It's
like
very, very important to get it the right time round, so not to waste any time, and also not to lose your confidence as well, because that can happen if you feel like you are the wrong fit for the subject, so it wasn't the right subject, and then what often starts to happen is people, especially young people, start to feel like they're not good enough, but really it's just their skill set isn't being applied in the right place.
And what would that do for someone like you? So let's just say you've done engineering now and you're in your second year and you got to a place where you're thinking, actually, I'm not succeeding at this. Would that really dent your confidence, and would you continue to study, or would you quit?
I mean, there's lots of different ways you can take it. You can take it as a negative and say, oh, I want to restart, and just keep going from there. Or you can use the degree you're in, use that to branch out to something else. So there are options. You don't always have to quit or start again. You could always branch out to other things. It just depends on how you look at it. You shouldn't panic. You should always just keep it calm and go with the flow.
But it can get to a point. So I've studied before, and I had to quit university because it got to a point where I just believed it wasn't for me. But for someone like him, he's already said that it was for him, but it was just the wrong subject because he went into something that he believed in terms of gaming, and he liked that, and it just took him to this subject. Would you advise him to then say, find another subject, or is it okay that he's looking to find jobs in just speaking English in abroad and things like that? What would you think?
For people that don't know what they want to do in university, what I would genuinely suggest is go into a degree that's really open. So obviously if you were to do an architectural degree, you can only go into architecture. But me doing economics even, I don't know what I want to do in the future, but I can go into banking, I can go into finance, I can go into investment, I can go into a lot of things, which is the only reason why I'm doing it, because I don't know what I want to do either.
Ooh, and not knowing what you want to do, is that a massive thing? So at what age do you think you should figure out what to do? So I'll answer that question. In my 30 years of experience so far, I believe there is no age. Because even at 30, I don't know what I want to do. Where do I want to be in 5 years, 10 years? Yeah, I have plans and stuff, but everything in life is so unpredictable that we can make changes at any given point. I think that's really important, whether you're at 20 years old, 21 years old, 19 years old, wherever you are at your age group, I believe you can make changes at any given point. So I don't think you need to have everything figured out now, but always have a plan of action ahead. But for you, do you guys have a plan of action? Simbi, what do you think, where do you see yourself in 5 years' time?
In 5 years? 5 years. I think where I would like to be in 5 years, having gained enough experience in the product design industry, I hope that I would have a clearer idea on what kind of products that I do want to design, and perhaps be working at a more higher level position, perhaps as a creative director. I would like to work abroad. I think it would be enjoyable as well, so potentially working at my dream design company, perhaps looking at starting my own, because I'm really interested in consulting as well, so possibly starting my own product design consultancy as well.
So you got a plan of action, you thought about it?
Yeah, but I can't get through my life without a plan of action.
Some people are built like that. Some people just need to have a plan and say, okay, this is where I'm going, this is how I'm going, and that's the end of it.
I think it doesn't have to be a set in stone plan, but I feel like it's wise to have some idea, even if it's a very vague idea, of what and where you'd like to be, what you'd like to achieve. Just a very sort of rough perimeter. I don't think you need to know exactly. Like, I don't know exactly. When I decided to study product design, I wasn't 100% sure. I definitely want to design products, but I knew that I want to design for people. Whether that was going to be automobile design, which I'm currently doing a little bit of, whether it's going to be consumer tech design or app design, I'm doing lots of different things. Okay. But you've got to take a leap first to find out. So I think you've got to know a little bit.
What about you, Kapil? Where do you see yourself in 5 years' time?
5 years' time, man. Remember when our teachers used to ask that, where do you see yourself in 5 years?
I remember my teachers used to say, I'm not too sure. Well, I could tell you where you were. Not studying.
Oh shit. 5 years, I mean, anything can happen in 5 years, you know, anything. But ideally, for me, I would want to be in racing in some form, some shape or form.
We've had this discussion before.
We have at work, racing.
Yeah.
That's how long I haven't seen
I
you for,
don't know
Simbi.
Have you not heard this?
She was. She
Yeah.
didn't know this, so I think you're keeping it pretty
Keep your ears
private.
open then.
Wow.
So,
Ooh.
ever since I bought my car, or even before I bought my car, I was thinking, you know, what I want to do in life is do something I enjoy. And racing was genuinely something that I enjoyed. Watching the F1, watching GT racing, etc. Which is something that made me want to keep going forward. So the car I picked had to be a certain spec. But then I realised the engine's too small, so we'll dump that out. But at the end of the day, what I want to do personally is go into racing. I want to do something that I enjoy, not something that will just hold me back and sit at a desk and
Oh,
be
I think
boring.
that's so important. So important that you guys do something that you enjoy. I don't think I could be a person that could sit behind a desk. I mean, I think you guys have seen me at work. I can't stay still in one place for too long. But yeah, I think one of the most important things that you guys should be thinking about when going into your career: am I happy? You shouldn't just work for the sake of working. What that ends up doing is it'll get you depressed, it'll get you miserable. Oh, sorry guys, if you heard that whistle, it's not someone saying I'm sexy, it's my parrot just in the background. I do apologise, but she won't be quiet for the rest of the podcast, so you might hear her here and there. One thing I want to talk about is the pressures that I had it, that was for sure, but the pressures that you get from your parents in studying as well. So do you get that, right? Especially maybe in high school you might have got it a little bit more, and then into college, but they might have been a little bit more lenient going into university, knowing what it is. But how was it when you guys were in college? What was the pressure like that you got from home, Suvethini?
Oh wow, 3 names. That's not my name, guys. That's not my name.
That's not my name.
No, I'm joking. That is my full name. But we won't go into my surname. My parents, it's a difficult one because I have 2 older sisters. They both done A levels. They both did well. But what it was is that everyone would come to my parents and they would be like, "Oh, your last one, she's the smartest one. She's the one that's gonna do really well. She's gonna be this. She's gonna be that." And I did really well in GCSEs as well. So their expectations were very, very high, but I didn't meet them. Yeah, I think that's the worst thing. Like on results day, crying, going to your parents and like, "Mom, I didn't do that well." But they actually took it really well. I was surprised with that. They took it very well, but it is what it is. It brought me down. Those 2 years were the worst.
How did it feel having that pressure or holding that pressure of your whole family to think that you've now had 2 siblings, but this is the one that's going to bring the grades home. This is going to be the one that is going to absolutely destroy the educational system. How did that make you feel? Like having to do that, knowing that that's all put on you. How did that make you feel?
It was the worst 2 years of my life. I can actually say that hand on heart. I was so depressed, like genuinely not even because of my parents. My school wasn't the greatest either in the sense of motivating me and all of that, but the pressure was unreal. That's why if there's one thing I could change, it would be the pressure on the education system that they have on such young minds. Because we're only 18, we're like...
You're young,
yeah,
you're kids.
It's very
no,
young.
No offense, but I remember being 18 and now I think of myself as a 30-year-old. Yeah, at that age you're very young.
I wouldn't go out as much because I'd be like, I need to revise, I need to do this, I need to do that. But the pressure was unreal because the education system just changed when I did it as well. So it was a new specification, new exams at the end of 2 years instead of breaking it down to first year and second year. I hated it.
Have you ever felt depressed through your education, through studying?
Not from my education, no.
No?
I wouldn't say so. I think the thing with pressure is it's very retrospective on the person. Some people rise to pressure. Some people, like they say diamonds are made under pressure. That only works for some people. Some diamonds don't. Some rocks don't become diamonds.
Okay.
So I think pressure can be good in a way sometimes. You might disagree, but I do think it
some people thrive under pressure.
Yeah, some people thrive, and I feel like me saying I never had pressure from my education probably isn't completely true, but I think I didn't see it as a negative thing, therefore I don't attach the word pressure to it. It builds character in a lot of people, and when you find a task or something that you're trying to achieve, a challenge, something that's particularly difficult to do, and you have this overwhelming pressure that you have to meet it, the reward is so much sweeter if you do meet it than if there was no pressure there in the start. So I think obviously it also goes the other way, that if you don't meet it,
Yeah,
obviously
that's
it's
the
so much
worst.
worse.
Yeah.
Right? So I can only talk from my own experience, that I think that the pressure for me did drive me to try to do better. Because at one point I was studying at because I was just doing the 3 A levels, but I was also studying 3 languages outside of my A levels as well. I was doing Latin, Greek, and Mandarin, and the amount of work I had to do was insane around A level time. And people were telling me all the time, "Why are you putting so much pressure on yourself?" I had it from my parents. "Why are you putting so much pressure on yourself?" But I think pressure grows people. It grows diamonds.
Pressure grows people, because I've worked under pressure pretty much my whole life now, because I have to work towards targets on a daily basis.
Exactly.
And it does grow people, but at the same time, I think at certain ages there shouldn't be that type of pressure. So
What age?
I think studying shouldn't put that much pressure on you. I don't think parents should put that much pressure on you to achieve certain goals. I think that we should allow ourselves, you're saying develop characteristics, but it shouldn't be developed under pressure at that age. I think that you should learn how to blossom at that age, learn how to become the best version of you at that age, and learn how to become who you want to be in the future before having this pressure, because this pressure can change you. This pressure can make you a person that you might never have become.
Definitely.
So it can make you moody, it can make you aggressive, it can make you unhappy, it can make you depressed. This is the bad side of it.
Yes.
Yeah, we can look at the good side and what it does, but
Yes.
we really need to focus on what it does at an 18-year-old's mind, or a 19-year-old's mind, or even GCSEs at 15 or 16-year-olds. What are we doing to these kids at that age, and what are we doing to their minds? I remember going through it, and I feel like, you know what, I didn't really care too much about education, so it wasn't massive for me. But then if I look left and I look right and I look at my friends, and they all cared about their education, they had a lot of pressure from their parents as well. And overall, what you can see is that some parts of them are dying inside, and it's not nice. Do you know what I mean? You see them and they're not happy. And is that something we should be doing with the educational system, or should we be coaching and developing and making people be able to blossom, like I said?
In my opinion about the pressure thing, I think pressure is one of the best things that ever happened to anyone. It makes you strive a lot more, it makes you want to do a lot more. Without pressure, what are you going to do? Say if you didn't have to hit target at work, what would you do?
You wouldn't hit target.
Exactly, yeah, you wouldn't do anything. I mean,
I
you see
agree.
kids nowadays, all they want to do is they want to stay on the streets and do whatnot. And without the pressure of education and having a stable future, you're just going to be another bum. And that's something we don't want to have.
Okay, so but what I was saying is being coached and developed how to handle that.
Yeah.
So we're just giving books and we're giving studies and we're telling, go do this, you have an exam. But have we been coached mentally how to be preparing? Have we been coached to be able to understand what to go through and what you can feel and the anxiety that you can get from this? Have we had that mentor being put in place in school to be able to help you out?
Yeah.
I think it depends a lot on your childhood, because I know some people that the pressure they receive at home is greater than the pressure that they receive at school. So they are so used, they know how to react and how to channel that pressure into achieving the right result that they want to. Then you see some people that have never really, maybe have lived more cozy lives, and then it comes to the pressure of a big exam or a big piece of coursework and it just breaks them. So people, like you were saying, people break at different temperature, but it's about, is it the carrot or the stick? It depends on the person. But some people are used to the stick all their life. They know that their parents are good, you know what I mean? Some people, they know the stick. So when they get the stick at school, it's fine. But if you've never had the stick in your life and you get to that big exam or that big test and all of the pressures there, you just don't know how to channel that. You don't know what to do with it. And that's, I think, where the coaching and training could be beneficial. Those are the people that I think could benefit from that.
Do you think that there should be more people in school that, maybe not teachers, but people that are there to help coach and develop characteristics more than teach subjects?
I mean, you can't really coach and develop a characteristic. That's something you're born with and something you grow up to have.
You
but
can
then-
nurture what's already there.
Yeah, and there could be teachers at school that will help out and develop a lot of people, but they'll do that in their own time. It wouldn't be one subject. A subject that I would actually introduce in school is coaching and developing, because that's literally where
Or
you
just
start from.
how to handle things.
How to handle things, how to assess situations, do the right thing, and take the right steps. That's just something you don't learn at school.
So Sushi, I don't know which name to get. Suvethini, Sushi, Susha. I'm going to call you all three names throughout the whole podcast. It's okay. Now that you've done what you had to do and all that pressure's been lifted off you because you now have gone into first year of uni, how are you finding it now?
A lot easier.
Yeah.
It's so much better because in uni what it is that you have way more of a social life. Way better than A-levels. Like, you've got friends everywhere. You've got
She's first year though.
Yeah. You know, like freshers, flu, everything. The freshers week. It was literally. It's literally amazing. Like all the different societies, meeting new people. You meet international people. Now I have like accommodations to go to when I go abroad. All of that is just amazing. Yeah, it's literally the best thing. I forgot about A-levels. Like I came in with the mindset of retaking maths, and I don't even have the time anymore. Like it's all gone. It's way in the past.
If you could change anything, if you could absolutely change anything in how the educational system is in the UK, what would you do?
Ooh, I'll come back. I need to think about this one.
Cindy, what would you do?
That's a difficult one because I didn't have a public education here.
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
So
It's alright for some,
it's
isn't it?
difficult for me
Life, you know.
it's difficult for me to.
It's like a peasant.
I did.
You feel like a
No, not at all. But what I'm trying to say is I feel like I did have. They didn't call it coaching and development, but I felt like I was personally coached and developed to focus on things that I was good at. I was creative. I was good at problem solving, so I was able to nurture those things and get a bit of guidance on what kind of course to do, which I know a lot of people. Obviously, I have a lot of friends that go to. That went to public school, and they told me that isn't something that's very well implemented a lot of the time, like careers advice, or it's not as personal. I'm not sure what you guys think about that. So maybe perhaps that's something that could be improved. And I think more to foster a better, I mean, speaking for my school personally, a better working culture in schools. I would say particularly private schools, because private schools usually are single sex.
Okay.
So it will be a girls' school, a boys' school, etc. And I think sometimes what you can get in private schools is this kind of mean girls, kind of Gossip Girl-esque. I knew a lot of Blair Waldorfs. I knew a lot of these, kind of fictional characters. So I think, building a better culture in terms of helping each other out. And actually, these are just general skills for later life anyway, because if you're not a good person, if you don't get along with people, regardless of the industry you go to, I think it'll be difficult for you.
Okay. Susha?
I just think reducing competition between schools.
Between schools?
Because in the sense, you know how you would have so for example, we live here in, Ealing Borough State. All those schools in Ealing Borough, they get ranked as well.
Yeah.
So schools look out for their sort of ranking rather than the best for their students. So when I went to sixth form, it was like you would get people that have the potential to do dentistry, to do medicine, but the likelihood, because competition is so high, and the likelihood of them getting in is not very high, the school would advise them to go into biomed or pharmacy, because then they would 100% get in, and that means it's good for the school because they have an extra student going to uni. And
wow.
I don't like that at all. Like, everyone realised it, they would fight their way into it, and they would want to do that, so they would be adamant on it, but they would advise you not to do it, and that's additional pressure that you don't need. It's unnecessary. So
the school's thinking more as a business than it is thinking for its students.
Yeah.
Did you feel like that as well?
Not necessarily. Everyone's at school to do their own thing, obviously, really. But there are times when the school would deliberately try to make money out of just parties and stuff. How could one person at the age of 13 be paying £20 a ticket for a party? Is just unheard of. You get nothing. But a couple of party rings. What's that, man?
Miss a little party. Doesn't like the party rings. They're too old for them. I'd be happy with a couple of party rings.
For 20 quid, that's a bit extortion though, man. But other than that, school's good.
All right.
School's good.
Well, I'd like to thank you all for joining us on Life Out Loud. If you want to know a little bit more about our guests, come over to the People and Us channel on YouTube, where we're going to do a little bit of a challenge, get to know our host, or not the host, you got to know me very well already, but get to know our guest and see if they can handle the spice. Find out what I mean by coming onto the channel. The People and Us.